Interesting maps of Australia. We looked at a video version about a month ago, and it was really, really cool. Did really well. We're going to do more. Let's take a look at some of these maps from various sites. Well, let's see what we can find. And first, we have a map of the land down under, labeled by a Brit. First, the caption says it's meant to be a very witty reference to our convict past, but joke's on you. Your weather and food is woeful. Yeah, I would assume very easily that Australia's got way better weather, better food. I mean, how could you not, right? How could you not? So yeah, you could see the Brit labeling cell block A and B and blah, blah, blah. They like to poke fun at a lot of different countries, like, oh, America had a convict past, Australia had a convict past, blah, 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 right? But I agree. Joke's on you, Brit. I don't know. Look at this map, though. Cell block F is down here in Victoria. No cell block there. Tasmania, they're free. No convicts there. And here we are in the top corner of Queensland, correct? And we have entertaining places marked on the map, like Dirty Dick Creek, Piggy Spring. Oh, God. I hope this video doesn't get demonetized. Stomach Ache Creek. Are these real? What is going on in Australia here? Dick's Lagoon, Chock-a-Block Creek. Oh, now that's cool. Come on. Booty Island, Bushy Island, Little Stinking Lagoon, and Big Stinking Lagoon, being in close proximity. And then you have this overwhelming map. Oh my God, there's so many words in here. I cannot cover all these. I'm going to pick out a few good ones. Titty Bong, Ball Bank, Never Never Catch, Crooked Straight. Now that is funny. Crooked Straight. Cream Puff Corner. Of course, you have Point Fanny way down here. Now this one, Kangaroo Island. Come on, that's cool. That's not silly. That's awesome. Boozy Goalie, Pig Face Flat. And then up here in the corner, you have Creamy. Tasmania takes the cake when it comes to messed up names. I mean, just get a look. Do I really need to read these to you? Look at this. Round Bottom, Deep Bottom, Stumpy Bottoms, Boring Creek, Boomer's Bottom, No Hole, Pensioner's Bush, The Dump. Imagine talking to your long-lost friend. Hey, buddy, where do you hang your hat nowadays? Oh, well, I'm in the dump.
Oh, what?
Oh, literally, I'm in the dump. Tasmania, duh.
Oh, yeah, right.
Granny's Gut, Horrible Hollow Goalie, Grassy Bottom, Funny Knob Creep, Guy's Dirty Hole. Wow. Who the heck named these, and how is this real? How is there, I want to see printed paperwork like a bill with this name on it. The township of Guy's Dirty Hole, Bud of Liberty, Dunny's Dam, the Never Never, Dingo Flats, and Crackpot. You can't leave out Crackpot. I think we've all seen this. This was probably on my last video too. The world is a cat playing with Australia. Not sure if this is really clever or really lame. And there's another size reference of Australia over Europe. Stretches all the way from Ireland down to Portugal, Tasmania down to Libya, and then all the way up to Finland and Norway. Yeah, if you didn't know, it's pretty big. Europe, then again, Europe is pretty small. And then an even better reference, especially for guys like me, here is the land of Oz over the U.S. of A. Pretty big as well. Definitely taller than the contiguous U.S. You know, keep in mind, guys, we don't have Hawaii and Alaska, because Alaska would trump everybody. Remember, Alaska stretches from California all the way past Florida and up to Canada, all the way down to Texas. Alaska is literally like as big as the U.S. It's freaky. But yeah, if we do the 48 states versus Oz, yeah, they're pretty similar. I mean, it's taller. It's almost as wide, right? I mean, the coast is just over here. Yeah, it's really big. Other than this cutout right here, you know, with parts of, you know, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas involved. Other than that, they're very similar, but it makes up for it up here in the north. The freaky part, 328 million packed into the U.S., 25 million in Oz. Wow. Okay, this is a good representation of this. Take a moment, look at this map, and we have we just showed how big Australia is. Half of the population, so millions of people, are only in the dark blue spots, which you could barely see on this map. Whoa. And we have a comedic map labeled by a clueless American. I promise this was not me. I'm better than this, guys. He labeled crocodiles up here, the outback down here, the really outback. So outback you don't even effing know. He'd be wrong. Perth is right here. Come on, buddy. Vegemite factory right here, I guess. Cricket match that has been going on since 95, where toilets flow to after they flush backwards. Ay, ay, ay. That opera house thing is around here somewhere. Is that all the world knows Sydney for real? No rules, just right, way up here in the NT. Okay, okay. Oh, by the way, they have koalas over here. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. I don't think koalas are hanging out exclusively in Alice Springs, but I could be wrong. And here, as always, you can see the temperature gradients in Australia. Oh, it's all red. It's literally hell. It's hot. And here is really interesting. This is a early map of Australia, 1794 to be exact. Different shape, if we notice. We have a way bigger arch here. Tasmania is apparently connected to the mainland, and we just have some different looking coastlines, right? It looks smaller. Looks like the old Australia was a little thinner. And as you can see, we have Terra Australis, otherwise known as New Holland. Ah, yes, we've seen so many of these maps. People make a fuss of all the snakes and the crocs and sharks and all that stuff, but we know the real danger. It's magpies, baby. Look at this. Danger zone. Oh, yikes. Everywhere from Adelaide all the way up the East Coast. But remember, they're not that dangerous. You just got to become friends with them, right? Don't give them a bad look. Don't go into their territory. Don't threaten them. Don't tease them. Here we have kind of a wonky map of Australia for Americans. So Americans can relate to, I don't know, like the climate. Definitely not the sizes, you know, how populated it feels and what kind of terrain. So yeah, this sounds about right. I mean, we're talking like northern South Australia and southern Northern Territory. Wow, see what I did there? Yeah, that's very like Red Rock desert type feel. And that's what you feel in, you know, Arizona, Utah, not so much Nevada, but barren desert. That makes sense. And then you have Texas over here, really big, kind of diverse. You got deserts, you got, you know, coast, you got greenery, you got kind of it all. You got big cities, you got remote areas. So that's pretty accurate. California for down here in Victoria, which Melbourne is down here, correct? Is that correct? I guess Melbourne does have a pretty mild climate, correct? It doesn't get terribly hot there a lot. It's pretty mild. California, again, very mild, you know, especially on the coast. Melbourne's on the coast, beaches, relatively good weather. I feel like it rains a lot in Melbourne when I look at the weather randomly, though. That could be just me. Like, I could be totally wrong. And you know what? That would be accurate because everyone thinks California is perfect weather. But again, when I look at my weather app, I'm kind of a weather guru. I look at weather all the time. It rains a lot in California. People don't know that. It's not as good as people think. The actual dry states where it doesn't rain would be your, you know, Nevada, Arizona, and the driest of them all, New Mexico. And then over here on the East Coast, you have the Carolinas. Again, it could get pretty hot there. They have a lot of beaches. They get some weather, and then it doesn't get too cold, I'm assuming. And then all the way up here in the north, which for you guys is the hot part. For us, it's the south. This makes total sense. Alabama and Florida, it's basically like a jungle, right? Florida, Queensland, definitely get the same vibes. Really hot, really humid. Thank God you have the coast. Oh, and then Tasmania is Alaska, apparently. Now, that one I don't agree with. I think Tasmania is cold for Aussie standards, but I think Tasmania's got some decent weather compared to the North American north. Alaska has really good weather in the summer for like 3 months, but for 9 months out of the year, it's miserable. Now, this is cool. We have an 1847 map of the Adelaide region. Adelaide, South Australia, of course. And I don't know, I can't weigh in as much as probably locals and a lot of Aussies can. I don't know the whole history. There's something probably on here that should stand out to me, and it won't because I don't know that much yet. But for your entertainment, here it is. Now, again, I make the mistake of thinking Australia is just more barren and outback. It's just a more famous, you know, image of Australia. And I think of beaches. I don't think of forests. And there's a lot of forests. For one, look at Tasmania. That's a big forest island. Let's get real. And then look at how forested it is on the East Coast here. I mean, we're talking thick greenery here, all the way from Sydney area all the way down, right? Even near Melbourne. And look how far inland it comes, especially in the east here. We even have some in the southwest. Here's a good one. This is a percentage of each region that actually uses the term runners to describe a sports shoe in Oz. If we look way down here in Victoria, right, down by the coast, Melbourne area, we have the highest concentration, that being at 51 to 80%. They like to say that down in Tasmania, apparently, too, and then all the way up in the Northern Territory in the Outback. But look at this, Western Australia, none. Apparently they don't say runners, so that's very interesting. And then there's the outliers here. Just this little bitty corner of the Southwest. I'm assuming Perth might be part of this. Forgive me if it's not. Just a little bit, like under 10%, say runners. The real question is, do you say runners to describe a sports shoe? Here we have a 1926 map of proposed air routes in Australia. Now, this was very early in air travel, correct? And there wasn't much going on. Here's a more simply put population density of each state and territory. As you can see, look at all the population way down here in the southeast is where it's at for people. This is something I never thought I'd see on Australian Reddit. Usage of the term thumbtack to call a short, flat-headed pin used for fastening paper to a wall. I believe I have thumbtacks near my desk. I don't. I did yesterday. It probably fell. I'm probably going to step on it. What's funny is I do. I call it a thumbtack. Some people call it push pins, I've heard. I don't know what other names there could be. I'm sure there's like 5 different names for it, knowing something goofy like that. But I call it a thumbtack. What do you guys call it? Apparently, if you're in the East, you do call it a thumbtack, especially if you're in Queensland. Tasmania, too. But if you're in South Australia or Western Australia, you most likely might not. Only less than half of you guys would. So that's kind of interesting. Definitely a random map of Australia I never thought I'd see. What's the alternative terms? I said push pin. Someone said drawing pin. Someone also said just a pin. Wow, I feel kind of dumb for not thinking of just a pin. And then finally, as the last one, as I don't want this to be too long, if you're enjoying this, please throw a thumbs up on there. I want to do more of these. We're looking at 3D Australia precipitation maps. So no, this is not a topography map, but rather showing the very wet, high precipitation areas. As you can see, all throughout the middle, looks like it's pretty darn dry, very flat, which on this map, flat means no rain, very little precipitation. Of course, the coast will have more that's kind of natural, but especially the East Coast. So if we look all the way from Queensland all the way down through Tasmania, especially the whole island, very wet it looks like, as you can see how tall they are. Lots of rain over here in the major cities. All these big cities over here, they get some rain, it looks like, for sure. Not as much over here in Western Australia. We're talking about Perth, right? That area. Doesn't get too much. They get a little bit. And I guess that would be my final question to pose to you guys. Do you like really wet places? Do you like rain a few times a week? Or do you really like dry places? And do you hate the rain kind of ruining the fun? I think you know which one I am. Give me the dry, baby. I have to say in closing, I thought this part right here in Queensland, this part that edges out, I thought that was really wet. Isn't it like a rainforest? It's like really tropical, right? I feel like there should be more rain there, unless I'm just looking at it wrong. Anyway, that's going to do. I hope you enjoyed this. Very interesting maps. We will look at more. I have fun making these. Would love to make more. So make sure to smash that like button so I know that I should do more interesting Australian maps. Also, subscribe if you would like to see more of this. Also, check that description so you can join the Discord and look at other things associated with my channel. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, guys, Merry Christmas, and I will catch you later.